Signore e signori, buonasera e benvenuti anche alla Parma. Si gioca oggi la finale del campionato Primavera U19 tra Sassuolo e Roma. Diamo ora lettura delle formazioni. Sassuolo, con il numero 1, Daniel Taylor, numero 2, Simone in 5 gradi, numero 4, Sergio Questo, numero 8, Justin Conucci, numero 9, Flavio Russo, numero 10, Giuseppe Leone, numero 17, Borna Nese, numero 18, Emery Lopez, numero 21, Kevin Bruno, numero 37, Matteo Palazzo, numero 64, Francesco Corradini. A disposizione dell'allenatore Emiliano Vigilla. Numero 22, Alessandro Scacchietto. Numero 5, Alessandro Di Vitonte. Numero 11, Luca Baldalla. Numero 13, Andrea Mussini. Numero 19, Matteo Lovato. Numero 23, Matteo Beconcini. Numero 27, Riccardo Pigani. Numero 29, Angelo Spinofidovo. Numero 36, Amoaco Minca. Numero 47, Nicolò Ravaioli. Numero 99, Claudio Parlato. Roma, con il numero 12, Renato Marini. Numero 2, Matteo Ragna. Numero 7, Luigi Cherubini. Numero 8, Nicolò Pisilli. Numero 10, Riccardo Pagani. Numero 11, Joao Costa. Numero 13, Dimitrios Teramizis. Numero 14, Gian Codina Oliveras. Numero 16, Mattia Magnini. Numero 24, Filippo Alessi. Numero 37, Alessandro Romano. A disposizione dell'allenatore Federico Guidi.
Dai. Concentrati, concentrati, dai.
Hello and a very warm welcome to Viola Park for the showpiece final of the Primavera Championship. It is Sassuolo taking on Roma. While for the Neroverdi, this is uncharted territory. They have never won the Primavera Championship. Roma have plenty of pedigree, having already won the Primavera Championship on 8 occasions. They were runners-up 2 seasons ago. Can they go over that final hurdle tonight? As Luigi Cherubini leads Roma through for the pre-match handshakes. Skippering Sassuolo, meanwhile, is Justin Kumi, Italy Youth International, and there is the Giacinto Facchetti Trophy on display. Who will get their hands on the coveted prize tonight? Sassuolo, who stunned Inter, who won the regular season. They finished top of the pile. Sassuolo swept them aside, having gotten the better of Atalanta in the preliminary stage of the competition. As for Roma, they went straight through to the final 4. Having finished second in the regular season, they got the better of their city foes. Lazio, a 3-2 stunner. Filippo Alessio scoring a wonderful goal. An acrobatic volley. That is the past, though. The present for Roma is Sassuolo. And there, your match officials for tonight, Niccolò Turini to take charge, the referee, the arbitro, as they say in Italian. Lecce, the winners last season. Lecce, who were defeated by Roma in the Super Cup earlier this season, so Roma have already lifted silverware this term. Can they get their hands on the big prize? Roma, who won the Coppa Italia last season, which is why they have the roundel on their shirts. As for Sassuolo, they have lifted silverware, albeit in the form of the Viareggio Trophy a couple of seasons ago. The under-18 competition. The prestigious international competition, however, it's this one that they want, that they crave. Emiliano Bigica's men taking on Federico Guidi's side. And talking of Guidi, there he is, the Roma boss, in his second season in charge. It's his second final of a Primavera Championship, having guided Fiorentina back in the 16-17 season, all the way to the final, only to lose to Inter. As for Bigica, he has won the Coppa Italia during his time with Fiorentina at youth level, but never this one. So can he go the extra yard tonight? Final checks from the referee. Both sides lined up, ready and raring to go. This showpiece final is about to begin. And Sassuolo playing from left to right in the Neroverdi in their green and blue. Neroverdi, who make no changes to the side that defeated Inter. 3-1 winners against Christian Chivu's side. All eyes on Flavio Russo, the capocannoniere, top scorer for the season. As for Roma, just the one change. Playa comes in for Golic in defence. Apart from that, it's the same side that defeated Lazio in the semi-final stage. Cherubini, the skipper, who was, I think, with a move to Juventus back in January. They'll be happy he stayed with the club, Cherubini. has featured once at first team level. In fact, several in this Roma side have experience with the Roma first team. And, Jose Mourinho and also Daniele De Rossi. Jan Oliveras combine early, spread out wide by Pisilli. Roma get the cross in, they certainly can. Trying to cause some confusion in the Sassuolo box. Keramitsis, the Greek youth international. Manini now trying to find the angle for the cross. Roma seeing plenty of the ball early on here. Able to work themselves though into a shooting position there. It's simple for Daniel Tainer, the Sassuolo goalkeeper, formerly of Südtirol. Flicked on, trying to bring Flavio Russo into play, the one-time Catania forward. 20 goals in the regular season. Sassuolo finishing 5th, 11 points behind Roma, who ended the season in 2nd. Roma just 2 points off Inter. Bruno Conti in the house, the Roma great. Gica, you could say, is back on familiar turf. He's a former Fiorentina youth coach and also a former Fiorentina player during his playing days. We're at the Viola Park, home to Fiorentina, their training ground. It's the Curva Fiesole Stadium, named after the Curva di Artemio Franchi, where the die-hard Fiorentina supporters sit. Here is Playa, who came in for Golic, who scored for Roma against Lazio. Chance here. Leone. Cinquegrano, two-time Viareggio winner for Sassuolo. Cannavino doing his very best to keep it in play there. Sides only met 3 times this season, 2 in the league and once in the Coppa Italia. Roma have the edge, 2-1 when it comes to the previous head-to-heads. Last meeting back in April, a 4-0 rout for Roma. And here come the Giallorossi, Giacosta. Manini takes a touch. Back with Giacosta, the Portuguese winger, and then Pisilli, first time hit. And they'll start again. Keramitsis was the goal hero in the cup win last season for Roma. They'll start again with Matteo Playa and Alessandro Romano, the Swiss midfielder. Zilli, who's also scored at first team level for Roma, and Sheriff Tiraspol in the Europa League earlier this season. One of 3 appearances for him at first team level. Here's once again Pisilli. Pagano now, who netted a brace back in April when these sides faced off in the league. A 4-0 win for Roma. This is promising for Guidi's men. Oliveras now. Pisilli. Back with Pisilli. Giacosta, what can he conjure up from this position? Manini now. Back with Giacosta, first time! And it flashed across the face of goal. Giacosta lifts the Roma supporters inside the ground. Nice combination play. Giacosta, who's already played 3 times in Serie A, and they've all come under Daniele De Rossi. Interesting, it was Daniele De Rossi's father, Alberto De Rossi, the last man to guide Roma to the Primavera Championship back in the 15-16 season. Alberto De Rossi, a revered and renowned figure at youth level for Roma, for Guidi taking over last term. Rossi, meanwhile, not inside the ground tonight. He's in Australia with the Roma first team, having got the better of Milan in a prestigious friendly exhibition encounter earlier today. And the new Sassuolo sporting director in the stands. There's plenty of famous faces here tonight. And Bruno Conti amongst them. Cinquegrano. Isilli. Roma trying to clear their lines. This is Justin Kumi, the Sassuolo skipper. And on the turn there, it's Kevin Bruno. Nice touch that. Isilli, unable to find a teammate. Possession changing hands quickly. Now João Costa, chance to run at this Sassuolo rear guard. Nice feet from Roma's number 11. Wants the give and go. First time hit from Pizzil. It's too tame to ever trouble Taina. But it's Roma that have started the brighter of the two sides. Roma, who certainly start as favourites based on their league position and their head-to-head record with the Neroverdi. The team from Emilia-Romagna certainly have momentum, having dumped out Atalanta and then Inter. Inter only lost 3 times across the regular season and were tipped to go all the way. But Christian Kibu's men were dealt a major shock. Cinquegrano goes looking for Kumi. Manini. And Oliveras, the Spanish fullback. Now Playa. Sisu has won a youth championship before for Empoli back in 2021, although he was an unused sub that day. Roma trying their luck now on that right-hand side. Rolled across towards Alessio. Again, using that right-hand side to good effect, the Giallorossi. Lopez, the Frenchman, formerly of PSG. His first season with the club, he's given it away. Can Roma capitalise? Pagano now. Pagano! He was always rising. But again, it's one-way Roma traffic. Sassuolo yet to settle. The 62nd edition of the Primavera TIM Championship, the 7th since it became a single league format. Previously there were 3 groups and then the leaders of each group would go through to the knockout stages. Now it's a straight league format. So Division 1 and Division 2, and then obviously the playoffs to determine the winner. Cinquegrano, did he stay on side? He did. Bring Bruno into play. Haven't seen Nezovic yet. He comes across for the corner kick. The talented Croatian who's already set up 3 goals in the knockout stages. Certainly one to keep an eye on. And here goes Nezovic. Filled in by the Croatian. Did it go all the way out? Looks like it. Grano getting up from the back. Renato Marin, the Brazilian-born Italy Youth International, will try and get things going again. And another piece of silverware after the Super Cup earlier this term. Pagano. Kumi, chance to break for Sassuolo. Flavio Russo, Sassuolo starman. Karamitsis has it covered. Now Roma trying to come forward. Filippo Alessio. And on loan from Vicenza. He has first team experience, having played in Serie B and Serie C, and also scored in the Coppa Italia Serie C. If you haven't seen his wonder goal against Lazio, you must check it out. On occasion, Roma battling back not once but twice against the Biancocelesti. Guidi has called on his players to go that extra yard and win the Primavera Championship, the 19 Championship. Primavera, the name given to it, literally the spring. So Giovanni Carnevali, the Sassuolo managing director, also made the trip. Not been an easy season to savour for Sassuolo at first team level, relegated to Serie B after 11 years in the top flight. Paid the price really without Domenico Berardi, injured for much of 2024. Keramitzis, Nini, now Cherubini switch flanks. Jan Oliveras tracking back. Good work from the Spaniard. As for Roma, semi-finalists of the Europa League, finished 6th in Serie A. Another Europa League adventure awaits next term in what will be Daniele De Rossi's first full season in charge. De Rossi has called up plenty of these players and has had them involved in training with the first team, the likes of João Costa, Pisilli, Pagano, to name just a few. And here is Pisilli, takes a deflection, might fall kindly here. And then the whistle goes and the flag out on that far side. There's a chant of Forza Roma, come on Roma, goes around the ground here at this stunning training ground, these state-of-the-art facilities. Rocco Commisso, the Fiorentina president, investing heavily. Wants to invest in a new stadium as well. Able though to get his hands on silverware, losing out in the Conference League final for the second year running, and again in heartbreaking circumstances. This time Olympiacos doing the damage. West Ham last term, Coppa Italia finalists last season as well. To start again though next term, who knows with who in charge. Vincenzo Italiano heading for that exit tour. And Oliveras tries to pick out Cherubini, now Pagano. Really trying to get things going again now for Sassuolo. Predominantly playing on the break so far. Kumi. Bruno has time and space. Takes a touch. Floated in first time by Leone. Chested down. And it's simple for Marin. We're certainly seeing more of the ball. Taking the initiative as we go to the 15-minute mark. Still even Stevens. Trying to carry it out from the back. João Costa, one-on-one with Lopez. Turn of pace from the Portuguese winger. Still with João Costa and the pullback towards Pisilli. And the referee halting play, Flavio Russo, brought down there by Matteo Playa. It was a surprise starter tonight. Then expected Golic, the Slovenian, who started against Lazio, to retain a starting berth, as we see Pisilli attacking this with real purpose. Such a talented player, the Roma number 8, who also won with Italy under-19s last summer, the European Championships, as we also see Gianluca Rocchi, the Italian designator referee. Rocchi's from Tuscany as well, so One could say an easy match to come to for him. And his referees have had their highs and lows this season. Looking to build again from next term. Kumi. Russo decides not to chase. Just assessing his options here. Roma, should they win tonight, they'd go level with Torino in the all-time winners list on 9. Inter lead the way with 10. Last 2 seasons ago, coming against Roma. Just want to remind, they've never won this competition. Can they make some history tonight? Cinquegrano, nice turn of pace. Past Valeras. Still with Cinquegrano. Looped into the box. Brought down by Kumi. Couldn't hit the target. Worth a go from the Sassuolo skipper, who has made his Serie A bow for Sassuolo. It came during Bigica's caretaker role after Dionisi was sacked earlier this term at first team level. We're talking now, of course. Bigica coming in for a match to forget, a 6-1 thrashing at the hands of Napoli. Ballardini coming in, taking over in the hot seat, and Bigica back to youth team duties. Fiorentina and under 21 Italy midfielder during his playing days. Opposite number, Guidi, unable to hit those heights as a player. João Costa towards Cherubini. Cherubini now with the pullback. Now this is Pagano, first time hit. He goes appealing for a corner. Will he get it? And again, it's down that right-hand side. Roma slicing up Sassuolo. They've got a corner. Their first one of the match. Pagano to take. Or will it be João Costa? It's the two-men center. It's played short. João Costa swung in. Sassuolo struggling to get it away. Tiamanini. Isilli. Cherubini. Isilli once again. Trying to go the long way around. Niccolò Pisilli has Cherubini in support. Back with Pisilli. Takes a touch. This is Niccolò Pisilli. And swept away by Sassuolo. Danger not over though. Cherubini once more. Nice to switch the play. Nodded down towards Keramitsis. Sassuolo struggling to get out of their half here. Oliveras with the throw-in on that far side. Everybody back for Sassuolo, including Flavio Russo. Haven't seen too much of the capocannoniere so far. Cherubini. Nice to pick out Pagano. And here is Riccardo Pagano. Fine stop by Taina. Best chance of the first half so far. Pagano denied by the Sassuolo keeper. Really is all Roma so far. Jan Oliveras just trying to dance his way through. Doesn't work out. Stuck a leg out, the Sassuolo keeper. Did enough to deny Pagano, who scored against Lazio in the semi-final. Milan also, those involved in the playoffs, they went out in the preliminary round to Lazio. Sassuolo again, a bit of Atalanta, and then a reminder, Inter and Roma qualifying directly for the semi-final stage. The top two at the end of the regular season. Roma 19 wins across the regular season, a league best. Corradini in a bit of trouble there. Taina boots it upfield. Calls kindly here for Kevin Bruno. Driving forward here, the Italian. Russo. Still with Flavio Russo. He couldn't hit the target. Sassuolo's number 9. With the Neroverdi's first real opportunity. It came after Pagano at one end and Russo at the other. Just got his effort wrong, really, his shot wrong, and it's a great save, a smart stop. Russo meanwhile unable to work Marin. Cinquegrano to his right, should he have passed it? Hindsight, wonderful thing. Bruno trying to win the ball back for Sassuolo. Good play around, good battling. Match certainly has burst into life. Initial phase in which Roma kept the ball well and a few half chances, but nothing concrete. So Pagano goes up in the air, 50-50. Pagano now twisting, turning. Was he caught there? The referee was well placed. Roma have a free kick in a very promising position. Pagano turning Lopez and Pumi in the end committing the foul. And Roma have plenty of players who can hit it from this kind of range. Romano's also standing over it. Romano, who was a league winner last term at under 17 level, promoted to under 19 squad this term, the Swiss midfielder. We'll be on the midway stage of the first half, still deadlocked. Roma with an opportunity here from a dead ball situation. It's a player lying down on the floor, the draft blocker, or the coccodrillo, as it's known in Italian, the crocodile, made famous by Brozovic during his time with Inter. So Romano and Pagano standing over it. Romano leaves it. This is Pagano. Straight into the wall and away. Playa. Manini. Romano takes the touch. Still with Romano. Once that give and go comes to Pisilli. Roma need a good ball here. Manini towards the byline. Manini stands it up. Karamitsis was there, you know. Man who has an eye for goal. Jan Oliveras. Pagano. Appeals for a handball. The referee not interested. Pagano, he was adamant there. Turini felt he was well placed to make the call, and he's trying to stop the play. Tensions bubbling over here. Roma in particular. Pagano felt should have had a penalty, and we've had the first yellow card of the match after refusing to play to the whistle. It was clumsy from Cinquegrano. It's Sassuolo number 2, but I don't know how much he really knew about it. Had the first yellow card towards a Sassuolo player. Looked like Kevin Bruno. Will have confirmation shortly. Playing on. Also, was Kevin Bruno from the looks of things. And now the Roma medical staff have been called on. Giuliano Bigica taking this opportunity to have words in particular there to Matteo Falasco, who's a former Roma player, now applying his trade for Sassuolo in the Sassuolo defence. They need back up on his feet. They need him to grit his teeth. He's hobbling. He's back up on his feet, which is obviously a good sign. Now the Roma bench, Golic amongst them. Slovenian, and there Federico Guidi. Apart from Empoli, Fiorentina, and of course Roma, youth level. He has coached at first team level in Serie C, the third tier of Italian football, with the likes of Casertana. Felt he couldn't turn down the offer from Roma though last season. Quadrano will chase. Jan Oliveras trying to put the pressure on him. Ball back to Justin Kumi. Pagano first time tries looking for Filippo Alessio. Was he fouled? He was. There are plenty of coaches that have gone on to have success at first team level, started out at youth team level, cut their teeth youth team level. Simone Inzaghi with Lazio, now of course at Inter, a Scudetto winner. Giampiero Gasperini, for example, at Juventus. Immense success with Atalanta, going into their first ever European trophy. There have been those perhaps haven't quite had so much success at first team level, but still started out at youth level. The likes of Vincenzo Montella, Filippo Inzaghi, for example, Christian Brocchi, plenty decided that starting at this stage is the best way forward, before then trying their luck, if you like, at first team level. Pisilli. Roma passing around nicely. Roma Academy, which has produced plenty of talents down through the years. Pagano, Oliveras, first time ball from him. It's not quite cleared away. Comes to Pagano. João Costa. There's Kelamitsis to his right. Comes to the Greek defender. Totti and De Rossi, the most famous ones. Cherubini takes a big deflection, and Rome will have their second corner of the match. Also the likes of Roberto Aquilani, and in more recent years the likes of Fratesi, Calafiori. Romagnoli. They then went and switched allegiances, now playing straight for Lazio. So the referee has asked for the free kick to be taken again. What to aim for? Comes the corner. He jumped up, now Kumi leading the counter-attack for Sassuolo, and that must be a yellow card. It is for Jan Oliveras, a professional foul. Knew what he was doing, stopping a Sassuolo counter-attack. Clearly see tugging the jersey now, a yellow card apiece. One for Sassuolo, one for Roma. Should it end goalless at full time, there would be the dreaded penalty shootout, but that is a long way away, and that won't be on the forefront of anyone's minds right now. Corradini. Kevin Bruno tries to put it onto his favoured left boot. This is Nezovic. Can he light up this final after impressing in the previous stages of the competition? Cinquegrano trying to get beyond Jan Oliveras. Now Oliveras has already been booked. Right in front of the Sassuolo substitutes who are warming up. Oliveras has to be careful. He's on a yellow card. Doesn't want to leave his teammates in trouble. Roma don't want to be left with 10 men. So will the dead ball do it for Sassuolo now? comes the free kick. It's a low ball. Spodna Nezovic. Mr. Assist. The team's creative sparks. Slowly starting to warm up and get more and more into the game. Held in by Nezovic. Nodded across towards Flavio Russo. Away by Pisilli. Then the shot came in from distance. Kevin Leone unable to coordinate himself. Sassuolo supporters have made the trip, come to cheer on the team. Club needs a pick-me-up right now. Mentioned that relegation. Monte and company to start again from the second tier. I feel like they have the foundations to bounce back right away. Cinquegrano lofts it upfield. Leone just took his eye off the ball. Cherubini holds it up, waits for support. This is out there, Cherubini. Now Nezovic. Can he unleash Flavio Russo? Playa back to Marin. Good defensive work from Playa. He celebrates. He scored a goal, justifying his inclusion then ahead of Golic. Marin. Was that a foul we're playing on? Pisilli switching the play. Great ball. The idea was there. Costa unable to keep it in play. Cherubini's really in the wars, you know. All across the park. Wincing once again. His coach Guidi will call on him to dig deep, show that battling spirit. Lofted upfield, Flavio Russo will chase. Kumi. Back with Russo. Whistle going, flag going up. Netted 20 times in the regular season, once in the Cup, and as mentioned, he's already struck in these knockout stages of the Primavera Championship. The winner against Atalanta, one of the 3 goals against Inter. Swallow stormed into a 3-0 lead. Consolation goal from the Nerazzurri at the end. Wasn't enough to spark an incredible late comeback. Sassuolo marching on to the final. Last year they went out in the semi-finals to eventual winners Lecce. So we've mentioned time and time again their pedigree. Since last season, winning the Coppa Italia, the start of this season, the Super Cup. The most successful sides at youth level. So another renowned, revered academy for producing talent. Perhaps not quite as famous as, say, Atalanta. Still certainly up there down through the years, produced some of Italy's finest players. Karamitsis tries to get the ball upfield. He's there as an option once again, the Greek youth international. Pisilli. Referee says play on, not interested. Alessio, who's been quite isolated so far. Roma haven't really got him involved as yet. Similar story for Russo at the other end, his opposite number, unless Sassuolo can change that now. Grimace again from Cherubini. Will his evening end early? go beyond Jan Oliveras. Sassuolo know he's on a yellow card. Can they exploit that? Shot of Bruno Conti, Roma legend, World Cup winner in 1982. For many Italy supporters, the one that means the most. First since the late 30s, coming against West Germany in the final. And the better of Brazil on the way through to the final. Not that 2006 wasn't special, far from it. Getting ready for Euro 2024. Kumi. Bringing Kevin Bruno. Berardi stayed fit, not got injured. He would have surely been part of Spalletti's squad. Flying the flag for Sassuolo in Germany. Grano now for Kumi. Leone out wide. Swung in towards Cinquegrano. Seemingly strayed into an offside position. Spalletti, of course, a former Roma coach, 2 spells. Cup wins, unable to lead Roma though to the Scudetto. They were pretty much the bridesmaids, you could say, of the noughties, just falling short to Roberto Mancini's Inter. Well, that's a mistake. Can Flavio Russo make Roma pay? Still with Russo! It's wide of the post. In the closing stages of the first half, Russo not able to work the keeper. Is it the nerves jangling for the occasion? Karamitsis, one of the more experienced members of the side, with the error in the build-up. That is a let-off for Roma. Zilli. Certainly after a slow start, working their way back into the match. Being soaked up that pressure. Most of their chances, or rather most of their attacks, coming on the break or trying to capitalise on errors from the Giallorossi. Anyone's for the taking as we go towards the interval here. Karamitsis there, the Roma number 13. He was, say, the guilty party a few moments ago. Fortunately for him, Flavio Russo was unable to make him and Roma pay. Costa takes his time to get back up to his feet. Russo now unable to bring under control. Nezovic. In comes the shot from Kevin Leone. Still with Kevin Leone. Nezovic still with the Croatian. Pulled back by Nezovic. Kept it in play. Kevin Bruno. Cinquegrano. Back with Bruno. Curled in by Bruno. Now Falasca, the former Roma man. Karamitsis takes a touch. Roma just trying to play their way out of trouble. They've won a foul in the process. It was risky play. Sassuolo determined to close out this first half on the front foot. Jan Oliveras Reminder on a yellow card, just like Bruno for Sassuolo. Flag's gone up. In the second period, they have to try and get Filippo Alessio more involved. Hasn't quite got going yet. And again, as they say, top strikers sometimes can seem to be absent from the game. They've gone missing, but just that one chance they can convert it. Just think of the likes of Filippo Inzaghi down through the years, those ruthless Italian strikers, Girardino. Cugrano runs it across. Comes to Nezovic. Still with Nezovic. Oh, soaring there. Roma have already taken the goal kick. And they build again. Certainly waned in this closing stage of the first half. Can they pick themselves back up though? Finish this first half with a flurry. Playa. It's a wayward ball and it's simple for Francesco Corradini. And now Seblur from the Dutchman, only of PSV. Cinquegrano. Flicked on. Kevin Bruno. Twisting, turning, nice vision. This is Kumi with the pullback. Now Lopez, and then the whistle comes to the rescue for Roma. Here's all Sassuolo in these closing stages, unless Roma have a surprise up their sleeve. Quite capitalise on their best spell of the match. Now Sassuolo on top. Oliveras drifting in field. Nice give and go. Isilli. Costa. Dimitrios Keramitsis. Force back. Good pressing here. No option but to just boot it into touch, gifting position to the Neroverdi. Lopez. Cinquegrano. Is he onside? Floated in by Cinquegrano. And then on the volley by Leone. It's the final minute of normal time. See how much added time will be given. Filipini very much like Roma has started to drift out in the closing stages here. Cinquegrano. Oh, and there's an error, but Manin gets his body behind the ball. That could have been disastrous for the Giallorossi, who just won that half-time whistle to come. You just feel they're flagging. They've had their energy sapped. They want that break to come. That's the feeling from the Roma camp right now. So just the 1 minute of added time. Manini, nice burst of pace. Alessio. Can he pick out a teammate? Keramitsis up from the back. Manini. One last roll of the dice for Roma. Again, Keramitsis forced back. Safety first from him. One last roll of the dice for Roma before the break. Jan Oliveras. Cherubini. Swung in. Del Playa, referee looks at his watch and says that is that. The first half comes to a close. It is goalless here. Sassuolo finishing the first half brightly. Bruno Conti watching on in the stands. He'll be pleased with how the Roma side started this match, but they certainly drifted off towards the end. It is anyone's for the taking at the break here. Interesting to see whether the coaches will look to the bench. Cherubini took plenty of knocks in the first half. He'll be hoping to grit his teeth and continue when the second half starts again shortly. Don't go away. At the break then, in the Primavera Final Championship, it is Sassuolo 0, Roma 0. Hello again and welcome back to Viola Park and the Stadio Curva Fiesole for the Primavera TIM Championship final between Sassuolo and Roma. Currently goalless. Sassuolo closing out the first half on the front foot. Roma starting the better of the two teams, however, unable to build and capitalise on their best moment of the match, which means it is delicately poised as Niccolò Turini prepares to get the second half underway. And we're off again. Roma playing from left to right in their chain strip. Sassuolo in the Nero Verde, the green and black stripes, their home strip. So they want to chases here right away, putting the pressure on Renato Marin. No changes to report at half-time. Despite seeing Cherubini and company picking up a couple of knocks in the first half. Here is Justin Kumi. It's a big deflection, and that's a really bright start from Sassuolo. A corner kick within the opening minute of the restart. Going to be Nezovic to come across very much like Sassuolo. His first half performance reflecting that of the team, growing into the contest as it wore on. Here goes Nezovic, curled in. Marin punches it away, and then in comes the volley! And it had to be him! Matteo Falasca, the former Roma man, gives Sassuolo the lead. What a start to the second period from the Nero Verdi. Guidi watching on, astonished. Sassuolo have come charging out of the traps, and they lead here thanks to a beauty from Matteo Falasca. Marin got gloves to it, but it wasn't enough. Falasca was lurking, a cup winner last season with Roma, and now he could be on course for the league title with the Nero Verdi. Storming start from Bijika's men. Can they capitalise? Can they build on this? Or will it spark Roma into life? Roma have gone immediately up at the other end. Matteo Manini, long run up here into the box. Really would be some story. Falasca from Rome, taking on his hometown team, the club that helped nurture his talent. Now, Oliveras, who's on a yellow card. Cherubini. Pagano. And now João Costa puts it into the path of his teammate. And now another bite of the cherry for João Costa. Swung in by Manini. Nice looking ball, but the header is over the bar from Pagano. What a start to the second period. Sassuolo with the opener. Roma very nearly hitting back right away. And they have a chance from that corner flag. Pagano invited to move away. In comes the corner. Good looking ball. Punched away by Taina. Now Cherubini can't quite bring it under control. He stayed down here, the Sassuolo keeper. Referee allowing treatment to come on. And with this break in play, we might get another chance to watch the opener from Sassuolo, who have started off where they left off. They closed out the first 45 minutes really strongly. And the break certainly at least appears not to have upset their rhythm, as we see the Roma bench stunned into silence. Plenty to ponder for Federico Guidi. Advantage Sassuolo. It was João Costa. Swung in by Manini towards Pagano. Couldn't keep it down. Took a deflection on its way through. Trying to back up on his feet. Goal though from Velasquez certainly has roused a reaction though from Roma. Start again from the back. Keramidis. João Costa combining with the Greek defender. Now Playa takes the touch. Just trying to work themselves here into crossing or shooting position. Everybody back for Sassuolo, including Flavio Russo. Everybody behind the ball. Now Keramidis. Down by Pagano. Communication with his teammate. But Roma still have the ball. Patiently trying to build here. Guidi's side. Again, just trying to find the angle for the cross. Manini. No way through. Have to try again on that left-hand side. Roma having plenty of fortune on that right-hand side in the first half early on. Cherubini's ball. Still with Cherubini. Still going here. Cherubini goes to ground. The referee not interested. It's a second penalty appeal by Roma waved away tonight in the first half. Handball appeals. Now Cherubini felt that he was fouled. He's back up on his feet, no time to lose. No VAR, of course, at youth level. It's a long throw. Kumi gets a boot to it. Dreaming of getting his hands on that trophy. Named in honour of the Inter and Italy icon Giacinto Facchetti, who left us far too soon in 2006. Flying into fullback during his days. Buccaneering in Serie A, up and down the pitch. Alessandro Romano. Keramidis. Now Flavio Russo takes a touch. Lopez runs into trouble. Fortunately for him, has Kevin Bruno there to win it back. Side stretched here. Flavio Russo boots it upfield. He'll say he didn't hear the whistle. Pizzilli. Overhit for Manini. Andiamo, raga, let's go, guys, let's go. It's the cool out on the pitch. The Roma team. Roma players just trying to rally themselves. They have reacted well, though, since going that goal down by Velasquez. Wonderful finish from the defender. He's forming himself into a striker there. Now Kumi. On a quick feet from him, but The call doesn't go his way. Romano. Apt surname for a Roma player. Roman. Playing for Rome. It's a nice ball. And it's pulled back here towards Filippo Alessio. That will be key for Roma, trying to get Alessio more involved for his goal-scoring displays this term. Roma owe their spot in the final to his acrobatic brilliance. I need to aim for here for Riccardo Pagano. This is up from the back. He's lurking on the edge of the box. Filled in by Pagano. Nice looking ball. Right into the heart of the box. Pizzilli swings it back in. It's a slice clearance by Kevin Bruno. He knows he can do better. Jan Oliveras now leaves it for João Costa. Manini showing his versatility, playing at right back tonight, but can also play at centre back or further up in midfield. Rubini. Pagano. Pizzilli. Karamitsis trying to piece the play together. Roma won a foul on this near side. It's played quickly. João Costa. No time to lose for Roma. Just wonder whether we have changes shortly from the coach. Here is Romano. First touch far too heavy from Pagano. Chance to break for the Nero Verdi. That's asking a lot on that far side from Flavio Russo, but he's brought it under control. Russo looked immediately to the referee, knew what he was doing. It's clever play because it's allowed Sassuolo to gain plenty of yards up the pitch first of all, and also win a free kick in a good position. Chance to work the keeper here. Plenty to aim for in the box. Nezovic standing over it. Get another shot of the newly appointed Sassuolo sporting director. Plenty for him to do. Looking ahead to next season at first team level. For Francesco Palmieri. There goes Nezovic, lifts it over. It's Filippo Alessio, of all people, the forward, coming back and doing defensive duties. Shot there of Gianluca Rocchi, watching on in the stands tonight. Enjoying a chance to simply enjoy this match, watch this match, although he'll be keeping tabs on Nicolo Turini as well, up and coming referee in the Italian game. Swung in by Nezovic, and there's the header, and Sassuolo have the second. The Nero Verdi are marching towards glory. Cinquegrano is claiming it. Did it take a touch off Marin on its way through the Roma keeper? It's of no concern, though, to Sassuolo, who have opened up daylight between them and Roma. They have started this second half in the perfect fashion. Swung in again by Nezovic. Again from the corner flag. Again, the dead ball situation proving deadly. Roma no answer to Sassuolo's prowess from the dead ball situations tonight. Bigica on course for what would be Sassuolo's historic first ever league title at this level. Nezovic now goes looking for Russo. And as Russo, who did so well in the build-up, helping the Nero Verdi win a free kick, and then from that, they got the corner. Where do Roma go from here? 30 minutes left, plenty of time left on the clock. They are reeling after 2 goals inside the opening 15 minutes. And now Lopez. Sassuolo want to third, but Frenchman loses his footing. Nice give and go here. Can they bring Leon into play? He continued his run there. Roma all at sea. Given away. It's a scrappy passage of play from both teams. Now Cherubini down. We said he's been in the wars tonight. Suddenly puts his body on the line, the Roma number 7 and the skipper. They're at full stretch. Luca Lopez, though, saying no way through. He wasn't going to give an inch. Once on the books of PSG and now rebuilding his career, you could say, at this level in Italy. Following the footsteps, perhaps his fellow countryman Armand Lorienté at first team level with Sassuolo. Burst onto the scene last term. Not so prolific this season. Kevin Bruno trying to race away. Scrappy now. Scrappy passage of play. Roma just needs someone to grab the game by the scruff of the neck. Giovanni Carnevali is all smiles in the stands, and why wouldn't he be? The club's managing director watching on. Taken quickly by Sassuolo. Bruno. Falasca, first time ball. Didn't quite work out there, Nezovic. We mentioned the first half, his creative abilities, ability to set up goals. Now 4 in the knockout stages. Goals coming from his deliveries on the corners. First Falasca. And afterwards Cinquegrano. Roma look like they are preparing changes. They look to try and turn the tide, get a foothold again in this contest. Pagano up to Cherubini. Nice centre pace from Jan Oliveras, but just overruns the ball. And the disappointment from the Spanish teenager. And there Cinquegrano. Rose highest. Tyner gets things going again. Nezovic in there quick. Roma taking it quickly now. Need to get a goal back here. They have the quality on the pitch, the talent to do so, the spirit as well. Let's not forget they battled back against Lazio in the semi-finals. Cherubini floats it in towards Pizzilli. And Roma do what Sassuolo have done to them, score from a corner. Played short. Pagano swings it in. And they were queuing up there. Sassuolo trying to come forward. Justin Kumi, the skipper. Lopez checks inside. Kumi first to it. No need for Sassuolo to force the issue. 2 goals to the good. Sassuolo would love a third. Also slipped inside the box. Nezovic. Nezovic unable to pick out Russo. Kumi will chase it, but the pressure. Marin. This one's sliding in there. Kumi now. Russo for goal number 3! And it just gets better and better for Sassuolo. The capocannoniere for the season leaves his mark. And it's now Sassuolo's to lose. Roma have been ripped apart in this second half. The Neroverdi now on easy street. It all stemmed from an error in the Roma rear guard. And Russo this time does make Roma pay. Had a couple of chances in the first half, didn't make them count. The composure from Kumi as well to spot Russo. Sliding in was Kevin Bruno. Russo, one touch and beyond Marin. Is it game, set, and match? Still 25 minutes to play, plus added time. And now Roma do look to their bench. D'Alessio to come on. It's Filippo Alessio coming off, and D'Alessio comes on, and Mizitano comes on as well, the number 9. Raft of changes then. Costa also making way. Now Pagano. This could be an immediate involvement on that far side of the substitute, fresh from coming on as the Roma substitutes watch on. Scott D'Alessio trying to immediately get involved. We've got Graziani also thrown into the fray alongside Mizitano. Russo. If you're asking or wondering, there's no relation to Ciccio Graziani, the Scudetto winner of Roma in the early 80s, and former Italy striker and World Cup winner in 1982. Trying to bring D'Alessio into play. Löwen comes steaming across. It's taken quickly. D'Alessio. And again, Sassuolo closing down the space well. Pagano. The shoulder from Cherubini. Good ball in. The whistle going though, much to the relief of Sassuolo. This 20 minutes will feel like an eternity for them. As for Roma, this 20 minutes will simply fly by. It's always the case when you find yourself trailing. All they need is a goal, a lifeline, and might put a bit of fear into Sassuolo. Aren't used to being at this in this kind of position. Not the kind of serial winners at youth level like Roma. Torino and Inter will be happy. With Inter 10-time winners, Torino 9 and Roma behind on 8. There is Falasca, his goal, paving the way to what appears to be Sassuolo's big night. Unless Roma will have a fairy tale finale. Graziani now. Keramitzis carries it forward. D'Alessio fresh from coming on. player. Again, a little drop of the shoulder. Really is trademark from the Roma captain, Cherubini. And now Pagano. Cherubini, space opening up here. Cherubini. Cross-come shot from him. Trying also to bring him to play Mizitano. Dejected figures in the Roma dugout. They fell at the final hurdle 2 seasons ago. As things stand, they're heading for another final defeat. Sassuolo really turned things around from the midway stage of the first half onwards. Well, they started so brightly, seeing all the ball. Just those fine margins, as they say, capitalising on the key moments. That final ball, that final delivery, that final cross just needs to be to a certain level. The referee just reminded the players that he's in charge. And of course the play to the whistle. That's of course all good experience for both these sets of players. The aim is to be able to form players ready to make that step up to first team level. Winning is important, of course, it's an objective, but the key thing is the development of the stars of the future. We've seen a few tonight, that's for sure. Cherubini running into trouble. Still with Roma, though. Corradini gets his head behind it. Cherubini certainly not going to go down without a fight. Bruno. Clearly fouled there. Oh, Graziani, just a bit of frustration from the Roma substitute. All that contrasting fortunes, first team level, season to forget, youth team level, historic season. They're close to writing history. Mujica's men. Corradini was looking for Kumi. Doing well to get his body behind that one. Marinus had the best of nights, having to pick the ball out. It was 3 times. Alessio. Manini. Pisilli. This is promising for Roma. Can they make it count? Oliveira's out wide. In by Cherubini! And somehow it stayed out. Manini was there from point-blank range. Sassuolo survive a huge scare. Roma somehow kept out. We're starting to see cramp as well, tiredness creeping in. Full marks to Cherubini, all stem from him. Manini denied by a wonder save by Tainer. Got a glove to it somehow. It really should have been 3-1. Well, that's certainly worth a goal. It was that good a save. Everyone thought it was in, this commentator included. Karamitsis, nice ball. D'Alessio rolls it across. Tainer got a glove to it. And the whistle goes. Roma springing back into life as we go towards the closing stages of this match. D'Alessio, the substitute, trying to bring Graziani, a fellow substitute, into the play. And who never featured for Südtirol during his time there at first team level. Enjoying his time with the Nero Verdi. Certainly a lot to look up to in the goalkeeping stakes. Andrea Consigli, a veteran of the game. Wealth of experience. Graziani. Not easy for Jan Oliveras. Pagano's dropped deep to try and shake things up. Pisilli. D'Alessio, can he keep it in play? The answer is yes. Curled in by D'Alessio. More changes in the Roma ranks. Manini makes way. Levac comes on here. Gets a run out in the final 15 minutes of play. Somehow saw his effort kept out by the Sassuolo keeper. Certainly a candidate for man of the match, as things stand, of course. Nezovic. Russo rolls it across. This is Kumi. Stopped in his tracks. Karamitsis. Again, Roma trying to pass their way out of trouble. It's not worked out on this near side. Long run up by Falasca. Really would be some story should Sassuolo win it, finishing the regular season 5th. The top 6 going through to the knockout stages. 11 points behind Roma in the regular season, who finished 2nd. Of course, it wouldn't be the first time that we've had a surprise package getting into the playoffs in the closing stage and going on to win it. Empoli a few years ago. Pisilli. They're playing on. Leone now spearheading the charge for Sassuolo. Nezovic. He stayed onside, has Russo to aim for. Still with the Croatian. Nezovic rolls it across. Oliveras coming across from that left flank. Falasca towards Nezovic. Another one who can consider himself a candidate for man of the match so far. His deliveries into the opening 2 goals from the corner flag. Marin takes the touch. Each of the goal scorers will want to stake their claim. Container the Sassuolo goal as well. Wonderful stop in the first half as well on Pagano. Again, all sliding doors moment, fine margins had that gone in. Roma started so strongly. Would they have kicked on and scored again? Would Sassuolo heads have dropped? Or what ifs? Hindsight is a wonderful thing. Reality is Roma, of course, for a heavy defeat here. Pagano. Still with Pagano. Will Roma get another chance here? Kept in play, D'Alessio. Karamitsis. Pisilli. D'Alessio. First time ball. In comes the shot. And again, Tainer to the rescue on the rebound. It goes wide from Cherubini. The Sassuolo keeper is having a blinder tonight. He's pulling out all the stops. First on Levac. And then doing just enough to perhaps thwart Cherubini, put him off, as Roma now look to Golic. Sassuolo also making their first change of the night. Nezovic to come off.
Esce il numero 17, entra il numero 47,
Ravaioli to come on. Nezovic, a well-earned rest. And Roma bring on Golic. Straight swap for Playa. Defender for a defender then in the Giallorossi ranks, an attacking midfielder for an attacking midfielder in the Sassuolo ranks. Ravaioli wants to strut his stuff. Pagano certainly continues to run his socks off. Levac with the fresh set of legs on for Roma. Pagano plays it short. Graziani. Oliveras. Swung in by Pagano. Chance on the break for the Neroverdi. Falasca to the path of Kevin Bruno. Now Leone. Ravaioli's only just come on. Immediately in the thick of the action. Pure frustration there in the Roma ranks. Nicolò Pisilli. Hoping to kick on next term, make more appearances at first team level. Disappointed Bruno Conti. We're just trying to lift his boys up full time. Should it remain like this, it looks like it's going to end this way. They have had their chances, but they've been stopped. A super Tainer goal for Sassuolo tonight. Levac nearly running into trouble. Golic. Roma found a bit of space in between the lines. Graziani, nice turn. Golic. Filled in, dealt with by Corradini. Kumi. Again, no need to force the issue for Sassuolo. And Pisilli could be in trouble here. Yellow card. Committed a foul a few moments ago at the other end of the pitch. Referee just saying, you've had your warnings, you've had your get out of jail card. It was late there. It was, again, just for that frustration. Something to be comprehended and understood. And we're tipped to win this final. Strong favourites. Shows sometimes it's about momentum in football. Corradini for Kumi, the skipper. Got it down. It was Ravaioli. Russo. Bruno. Misunderstanding there with Kumi. We've seen it not just at youth level, but across all sorts of championships. The team that finishes the season with momentum and gets into the playoffs often then goes on to actually win it, or at least go all the way to the final. Maybe the team that higher up in the standings has been there after form earlier in the season and stuttered towards the end and lost that momentum. Bujika dreaming then his first league crown as coach. His opposite number, of course, for a second defeat in a final. First in charge of Fiorentina in 16-17. It's actually Andrea Pinamonti scoring in that final for Inter. Of course, now of Sassuolo. Zilli there to tidy up the pieces. This is Levac. Kermatzis. Cherubini now. Pagano sums up the way things are going right now for Roma. Clock continues to tick down, and it's looking increasingly unlikely Roma can replicate the feats of the Roma first team against Barcelona a few years ago under Eusebio Di Francesco. And Rossi on target that night from the penalty spot for the Giallorossi. Cherubini switching the play. Levac lets it run. Levac brought down here on the turn by Mizitano. Rome will try their luck again. This is Keramitsis from distance. And that's simple for the keeper. So Sassuolo players lift their supporters. Already starting to celebrate. Kumi. Russo there. The referee has brandished a yellow card to Kumi. Bit of afters there. Won't want to end this match on a sour note. And the balance of play thoroughly deserved from Sassuolo. As the Neroverdi look to their bench, a chance to sort of disrupt the play as well. Lopez, one of those to come off. Di Bitonto to come on. Parlato looks like another one waiting in the wings here. And Cinquegrano, the man who netted the second. Listen to the roar for the Italian as he comes off. Let's out a cheer as well, Simone Cinquegrano. So close now to victory, Sassuolo can taste it. Graziani carries it forward, continued his run. Spotted by Jan Oliveras. Parlato immediately involved on that far side. Long throw by Parlato. Russo battling away. 3-3 in the knockout stages for Flavio Russo. His star continues to rise. Pagano falls kindly here. Alessio takes a touch. Pagano. Keramitsis back with Pagano. Roma's number 10. Cherubini floats it in. Lavaioli away. Roma desperate to at least get a consolation goal. Something for them and their supporters to cheer about. As we approach the final minute of normal time. Cherubini. Kumi away. Straight into touch. Interesting how much added time will be given. Graziani. Cherubini, who's limping, he really is struggling. He's done his best to give his all, despite taking knock after knock, both in the first and second half. Easily out wide. Towards Pagano. Corradini, has he got it covered? The answer is yes. Pagano. Cherubini for Graziani. And that's easy for Sassuolo. Russo boots it away. Referee looks at his watch. The 90 minutes are up. 5 minutes of added time. These 5 minutes will fly by for Roma. And Oliveras chipped in towards Mizitano. Golic. Cherubini. Pagano now. Goes for goal! And it whistled just wide. Rippled the outside of the netting. Optical illusion though. Wasn't in. Tainer. Get it away. Straight up at the other end. Often. Pizzilli, great vision. Switch of the play for Cherubini, who's still going strong. Times he appears to be playing on one leg. The Roma's wait for a first league title since the 15-16 season. Looks like it's going to go on. Karamitsis, and easy for the Sassuolo keeper. Sassuolo players in the dugout, they're just saying 3 minutes. Giovanni Carnevali's savouring this moment. Future certainly bright, even though the present hasn't been such a positive thing for the Neroverdi this season. Corradini nods it down, path of a teammate. Bruno will chase. Put the pressure here on D'Alessio. Got Ravaioli as well, also hunting in packs there, the Neroverdi. Cherubini just running out of steam. Graziani. Karamitsis. Pizzilli. Ravaioli with that touch. Pulls kindly here for Roma. Cherubini. Unable to either hit the target or find a teammate. And now the Sassuolo players really believe 2 minutes left. Surely no way that Roma can score 3 goals in 2 minutes. Bitterness and disappointment for João Costa and company. Roma being rolled over. It's another defeat in the final stage. The night belongs to Sassuolo. Emiliano Bigica has guided his men from 5th spot in the regular season all the way to the final. And can they get a 4th? Bruno. Gumi. Atalanta, Inter fell by the wayside, and now Roma, the latest victims to this unstoppable Sassuolo side. Into the almost the final minute of added time. Pagano, Cherubini. This is Graziani, goes for goal, and it's another superb stop by Tainer. Certainly a candidate for man of the match. Time after time, he has frustrated the capital club. Into the final minute now. Sassuolo want to start the party. Pagano. Now the referee starts to look at his watch. The Sassuolo players ready to start the celebrations. The coaching staff. Special night for the Neroverdi. Bigica starts in earnest. Cannavali Palmieri also watching on in the stands. Sporting director, managing director of Sassuolo respectively. Turini looks at his watch. Sassuolo are champions. Roma have been rolled over against all odds. The team that finished the regular season in 5th spot wins the Primavera Championship. 3 goals in a stunning start to the second half did it for the Neroverdi. And for the first time in their history, they are champions of Italy at under-19 level. Disappointment for Bruno Conti and the Roma directors watching on in the stands. Tears for the Roma players. They will try and bounce back from this disappointing night for them. But there has to be a winner, and that winner was Sassuolo, richly deserved. They had a slow start, but they soaked up that pressure. They grew as the first half wore on, and they started the second as they finished the first. They blew away the Giallorossi. Roma unable to build on that bright start and capitalise on their best moment of the match. Falasca paved the way to victory, the one-time Roma man. That's a story in itself. Then Cinquegrano rising highest to nod it beyond Marin. And then the third goal coming from Flavio Russo. Fitting, really, the capocannoniere, the top scorer for the season. Isili is inconsolable out on the pitch. You feel for Roma, you feel for this side who were so strong this season. No team racked up as many wins as them during the regular season, but that is the playoffs for you. It throws up upsets, and Sassuolo have done just that. Atalanta, Inter, and now Roma beaten. And Sassuolo will celebrate long into the night. After the disappointments at first team level for the Neroverdi, relegated to Serie B after more than a decade in the top flight. That's a nice touch. Federico Guidi coming across to Emiliano Bigica, the Roma coach, to the Sassuolo coach. And now he does get his hands on the big prize. 2-time Coppa Italia winner during his time in charge of Fiorentina Primavera. And now he lands the big one, the Facchetti Trophy, the league title. And soon we will have the moment that Sassuolo are waiting for as they lift the trophy. Sassuolo duly did. And then building up momentum to get to the final as well, perhaps having had that extra game under their belt, having eliminated Atalanta in the preliminary stage, could be seen as a positive, whereas Roma perhaps fresher. In fact, they were fresh, having played only one game, the semi-final against Lazio. Perhaps not having those games under their belt, arriving for the final. Can go either way. Sometimes better to be fresher, sometimes better to more games. Again, that momentum, which we continue to come back to, a key word in football. Another is sliding doors moment, fine margins. And that was also a difference maker tonight. Roma, based on that first 20-25 minutes, looked like they were going to go on and overpower Sassuolo. Sassuolo really took their time to settle. Having soaked up that pressure, growing into the game. It's tears also for Gianamitzis, unable to follow up on last season's Coppa Italia win, the Super Cup earlier in the season. And a big learning curve. These players will remember the hurt from this night. They won't want it to happen again. It's again, as we mentioned, all about Sassuolo tonight. They are the champions of Italy. They made history for this club which, well, a decade ago, wasn't even in Serie A. Made its way up, thanks also to the big investments of the late Squincy. No longer with us. And of course, thanks to the contributions of several coaches who've gone on to have success elsewhere, the likes of Allegri, Pioli, Eusebio Di Francesco. Eventually did take them up from Serie B to Serie A, and a former Roma coach and Roma player, Scudetto winner with Roma in 2000-2001. Again, let's flash back to the present. As Sassuolo get ready for their moment when they get their medals and their hands on the coveted prize, the Giacinto Facchetti Trophy. A real example that it's about belief, and that perhaps the team on paper is heavily fancied doesn't always win. Is that perhaps a message also ahead of tomorrow when the Champions League final takes place? And there it is in all its beauty, the Facchetti Trophy with the Nero-Verdi ribbons.
campionato Primavera U19 2023-2024. Diamo il benvenuto al presidente di Lega Serie A Lorenzo Casini e a Barbara Facchetti che effettueranno le premiazioni.
That's Lorenzo Casini, the Serie A managing director, who's out there on the pitch and part of the awards that will be given out, and also Barbara Facchetti also will be handing out the awards this evening.
Al miglior calciatore della fase finale del campionato Primavera U19 2023-2024 va al numero 9.
And now the man of the match, Flavio Russo, who said he was a candidate, as he comes forward here towards Lorenzo Casini and Barbara Facchetti, the daughter of the late Giacinto Facchetti. And you can certainly see the resemblance to the great Giacinto. The award named in honor of Morosini, tragically lost his life. And now the referees. Nicolò Turini leading the way, his assistants for the night, and the fourth official. And now the runners-up, Roma, will get their medals. And they just want this moment to be over. But gracious in defeat. And lovely to see Sassuolo players as well applauding them as they go through. On the balance, can be considered a positive season, of course. Second spot in the regular season, Super Cup winners, so they did get their hands on silverware, just falling short tonight. Left with regrets, naturally, the way they started the match. Just couldn't build on it, couldn't take that chance, couldn't break the deadlock. Had they done that through, Pagano was denied by Tena, another candidate for man of the match, although went to Flavio Russo, who got his hands on the Morosini award, named after Pier Mario Morosini, who you may recall tragically passed away in 2012, actually suffering a heart attack out on the pitch during Pescara Livorno. It was in 2012 when it sadly happened, but his memory lives on at youth level and beyond. And Pizzilli continues to really struggle to come to terms with it. Certainly gave his absolute all for the cause, Nicolò Pizzilli, right until the very end, running his socks off. Just wasn't meant to be. And now the winners will come through. Sassuolo, ladies and gentlemen, are your champions at Primavera level for the 2023-2024 season. For the first time in their history. Against all odds, they have come up top trumps tonight. Cinquegrano, behind him Löw and the Dutchman. Corradini. Tonto had a cameo appearance at the very end. Nezovic involved in the two opening goals. Parlato, another one who had a cameo appearance at the very end there. A run out here at Viola Park. Now the challenge is trying to defend this crown. It won't always be easy because some players will move on, some players will have experiences elsewhere at first team level. And here are your Italian champions at Primavera level. Sassuolo lift the Facchetti Trophy to the skies. The Neroverdi celebrate a first ever league title. History has been made tonight. Thank you for joining us. Final score then here at full time as Sassuolo celebrate. Sassuolo 3, Roma 0. A recap then of what has been a special night for the Neroverdi as the club anthem rings around. A storming start to the second period as they got the opener through Falasca, then Cinquegrano, and then Flavio Russo, the icing on the cake. Sassuolo, 3-0 winners and champions of Italy. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.
Sassuolo ci crede, nessuno potrà toglierci la